Hello! Joined today by Meadows and
Chris. Hello.
Hiya.
what beer have we got today, Aaron?
Today we have got Roosters Fort Smith, and it is their Sniper 8. There we are.
Purchased this. Where?
Was it? It wasn't. Was it Booths? Was it this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Booths.
Yeah, testing that one.
Yeah, Booths. So, Ari, why is he a very talented juggler behind you?
He can explain that for himself.
Just because I decided to bring juggling balls around here with him. He said bring juggling balls, so I thought, why not? Very much.
Make a little addition to the video. An alternative.
Yeah, it's nice to get three people's behind this beer, but nice show as well. So, have either of you had any Roosters before?
Nope.
I have. Did one a couple of videos ago. Which one was it? Worth remembering. He said as he looks on his YouTube page. One moment.
TheBeerGuy.
So,
It was
Aaron's
their,
friend.
It was their Yankee I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Had that one.
Aaron's friend, have you had many real ales?
Not really. Harry's been sort of trying to teach me on the way, but it's going really quite slowly, to be honest at the moment.
There's so many out there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to Organ Grinder. Favourite pub of yours?
It's very pub mine.
Yeah.
Did they have the chocolate orange on?
Yeah, the Howard, that was...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Did you have that one?
No, you had that one because you thought it was... I thought that was my one.
You had the dark IPA.
Yeah. I had dark IPA.
So you're enjoying your trip into real ale and craft beer?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's better than drinking just normal sort of beers just to go out and mass-produce sort of beers, yeah.
So anyway, Fort Smith is named after Rooster Cockburn's, where he grew up. Is that right?
I'm just reading here. It says named after the town in which Rooster Cogburn lived. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool drinking these beers with a story behind them as well.
Absolutely, yes. I was watching one of your videos recently. I think it was one of your... I don't know whether it was a recent one, but I think it was a recent one. It had a story, a big story about it, and it was a rather gruesome story.
The Tyrrell.
Yeah.
The Tyrrell basically thought, this is a nice story about a man and his dog. And then the man just falls to his death and dies, cracks his skull, and the dog eats him.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, you two are very young, educational minds. Who was Rooster Cockburn?
I don't know.
I wouldn't know, I'm just a material actor. I don't know.
Moving on. Wasn't he like a general in the Yankee Army?
Possibly. My American history knowledge is quite slim.
Mine's even the same.
Mine's non-existent, put it that way.
So what are you getting on the aromas?
Citra. Well, lots of citrus hops in it. So I'm getting lemon, orange. I hope I don't get metallic.
I know we've had that a lot with a lot of American IPAs as of late, haven't we?
Only slightly metallic, not overly acceptable.
And Irish strength?
Yeah, it's quite hoppy there. It's quite nice actually. It's not very metallic. I wouldn't say it's quite metallic-y, sort of like the 5 Points New York beers, things like that. So it's quite, yeah.
With your new palate onto these kind of beers, how does it compare to the beers that you've had previously?
Recently,
What did I have recently?
the most recent one was probably the one that I got for you for Christmas was the Mocha.
Yeah. Bateman's Mocha is what he had.
Yeah. No, I mean, as in like the lagers that you used to drink, or the generic beers. How does it compare? Is it an advancement in flavour to what the beer you had before?
Not quite sure really. The last one we probably had was in Nottingham. It was,
You're just saying about your lagers that you've had previously, and all that sort of.
Oh right, yeah. Compared to some as I said, I've only really had the mass-produced sort of stuff, so it's a lot nicer to sort of get different tastes and smells from the actual from these real ales.
A more depth flavour in them.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think that's what Ari and me myself like. Is just each beer is completely different flavours, whereas the normal generic beers, although they are very nice, they are very generic. There's basically you know what you're gonna get. Whereas beers like the Fort Smith and the Mocha, like you said you had recently, there's so much flavours out of all the beer.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a dessert beer. Like something like a treat.
Yes, yeah.
Every time.
Because it's amazing, I find, looking into the actual hops and the malt background, just looking into them and what flavours you get out of each one. I mean, you can get chocolate out of one, you can get like a smokiness about one. And all the odd flavours like vanilla, like sometimes you get like a custardy taste. It really is very depend on, not just on the malts or the hops, but also on the way it's made, the water used.
Some of the coffee ones are quite nice as well.
Yes, yeah. Most of the stouts. Would you say your favourite type is a stout?
Well, initially when I got into drinking beer, it was more like the European lagers.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But then it grew into the wheat beers and the wheat ales. Then onto the Belgians, but then eventually your palate gets more richer in flavour, so you go on to like the dark beers, like you say.
Yeah.
I mean, recently I've got really into my black IPAs or black ales. How did your trip from commercial generic beers to real ale craft beer?
Well, I think I never really went into the mass beer market before. I was always just cider before, and then I just went on straight onto like IPAs and kind of weaned myself onto it because at first I couldn't really stand the taste, and then went more and more into drinking more and more hoppy beers. And that kind of weaned me into it, and since then I kind of went after the IPAs, which I've kind of gone off now. I don't mind going back to them, but probably the wheat ales. I did enjoy my wheat ales. Bitters, but I think now I'm torn between stouts and strong ales. I'm going for strong ales nowadays.
Yeah.
It's the depth of flavour of strong ales.
I think because when I was having quite a lot of the mass production stuff, I didn't quite like the darker beers. I didn't quite like the stouts, so I started probably on the blonde ales and sort of the lighter sort of ales. But then when I started going off and Harry and I started having the light to dark, I found some of the darker beers were actually quite nice. like the Howler and the Mocha. But I'm just sort of just trying to get them bearings, just going around different sorts of beers. Which is the wheat beer in Germany?
Bidet, was it? No, that's sorry, that's Belgium.
Erdinger?
No.
Warsteiner?
One you've had recently?
One that we had at the Christmas thing, the Christmas market.
Oh,
and we had in Germany as well.
It was something, of course, something Weissbier, and it was beginning with G, I think it was. Something beginning with G.
I probably think I know what you mean, but it's like I know a lot of the German markets use the same one.
Yeah.
But as it warms in the glass, it's getting that metallic feel. It had like you mentioned, like I don't know if you get that kind of taste note, like cold custard.
Yeah, just a touch. That's the taste I was thinking. There's the lemon, the orange. I was picking up some malts in there, and then there was like another flavour which I couldn't quite put my finger on, so it must be that. The metallic, I've just noticed more and more with IPAs.
Yeah.
I just think it's something I pick up on quite a lot now.
I mean, you're a home brewer, and sometimes I think when they have too many hops, it does give off that metallic flavour.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's like that cold custard feeling, or the natural yogurt.
Yeah, which we know I don't like.
No. When I first started getting into real ales, I found that the beer festivals are the easiest ways to enjoy and expand your palate into craft beer. As we did late last year, Harry, when we went to all those beer festivals.
Yes, Nottingham being one of the best, I think probably the best beer festival I've ever been to. A very long list that is about 6 beer festivals, but no, it was the best by far, that one, because the amount they had, the ciders they had, the fact that I actually went back looking at ciders for the first time in ages, and really enjoyed some of them.
And Meadows was named after you.
Yeah, there was all my family members. Yeah,
Meadows.
There was one called Harry, then there was one called my brother's name. Yeah.
Have you managed to take your friend to any of the beer festivals lately, or just ale trails?
Well,
yeah.
We've been to one, haven't we? Went to the Birmingham one.
Birmingham Beer Festival.
And I went to like a small sort of festival. It wasn't really a festival, it was just over a weekend in one particular pub, and they had about 30 different sort of ales on. And I went with a couple of friends, which was really nice. And just having some half pints of just light, darker. It was before that, actually.
All right.
Yeah, it was really long. It was in February last year.
Oh, okay.
But yours was the first proper beer festival I went to, which was actually quite nice to just go around there and listen to.
It was very big. Was the Birmingham Beer Festival? Birmingham's got 2 beer festivals. They've got a Brum Beer Fest, which is in like July, August time, and then the Birmingham Beer Festival, which is like 1st of November, I think it was.
We were at the same time as I went to one of mine, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sheffield that we went on one day, and then it was Birmingham the next day.
No, soldier.
Yeah.
Sheffield was on
Yeah.
Oh no, it was on Halloween, because it was after. Oh yeah, within the first. Yeah.
Mm.
So, are you enjoying your the beer festival experience?
Yeah, I found it quite a friendly atmosphere, really, and it was really chilled out atmosphere around. People were just quite friendly, and it was just nice to try different beers, to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah, I always feel like it's a trip to a massive pub, because that's all it is. It's basically friendly people and the amount of selection you've got, and you don't have to go silly, and they're affordable as well.
Mm.
Yeah. was...
So, on to Roosters. This is from, is it North Yorkshire?
I believe it is. I got a lot of Yorkshire beers recently.
Knaresborough. Are you going to join Ari on his future beer reviews?
Probably one or two.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, might be next week. But yeah, probably one or two during the year. You'll probably see me along, probably juggling in the background. But yeah.
I mean, it'll make a change from his dreadful tasting music.
Yeah, that's been a recent feature in some of my newer videos. Some of them, there's quite a few of them which I'm just doing it as part of a joke.
Let's see,
yeah.
But yeah, some of them, like with the cider videos, with the lesser beers, I suppose, and the lesser ciders, there are a bit of a joke with the music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like putting my music alongside.
The two beers that you've had from Roosters, has it put you off, or does it inspire you to buy any of the beers from Roosters?
Well, I think this is a very high standard. I mean, as much as I am picking up the metallic taste, and that's one thing that puts me off an IPA, I think the fact it's of a very decent standard would make me want to go and have a look at the rest of their range that they have. I mean, I'm not too bothered. I think if I come across two bad beers, say a certain brewery, Leeds Best, for example, I've had two bad beers from them, I still want to go and have a look at the rest of their range and just explore what other beers they have to offer. I'm not one to make a judgment on, whether it's good or bad based on one beer.
Yeah, I mean, recently me and brother had a few from Wharf Bank. People like bad beer, bad beer, bad beer, bad beer. But you keep trying to spot the beer, and we like trying unique ones as well. Sometimes, they had a rhubarb wheat ale. It smelled amazing, but when you drank it, all you got was water.
Yeah.
But then treacle stout, and it was just beautiful beer from smell, aroma, and taste.
That's quite like a lot of the beers that we had in Litchfield. They smelled quite nice and they looked really nice, and then they were just, every time we tasted, they just seemed quite watered down.
Yeah, we went on a little ale trail around your word there, ale trail around Litchfield, and I think most of the pubs we found were actually pretty much all owned by Marstons, which is obviously a very big thing down here. But the beers, all of them, don't think I found one decent beer there.
Yeah, there was one called the Dog's Bollocks, and it really wasn't the Dog's Bollocks.
The ones from Witchwood.
The ones from Witchwood, they didn't have any, even though they are brewed at Marston's. They didn't have them.
This is normally the Witchwood.
Yeah, they normally would have Hobgoblin, Goliath. But yeah, no, we don't seem to see them down here. If you go a little bit further south in Birmingham, we go I don't know, down towards perhaps Worcester, you'll get Hobgoblin down there, even though it is Marston's. You should be able to find it around here, but you just don't see it.
Yeah.
On the ale trail round Birmingham, have you done a Birmingham ale trail yet?
Yes, I have, yeah.
We did a smaller one.
Mm.
Yeah, we did a small one. It was actually, it was after the beer fest.
It was after the beer fest.
Yeah.
We did the old Contemptibles, very, very good pub. They had Peaky Blinder on tap there. Then we
from Southlands.
Yes, yeah. Then we went to the old Joint Stock, which is a Fuller's pub, very, very ornate former bank. And then the other one was the Wellington pub, which is one of my favourite pubs in Birmingham, because just simply for its range, it must have 20 taps plus of different, and each one is literally, they've probably just got one or two barrels of it, and it changes each time you go. But I think they do have. I have had Citra from Oakham Ales. I've had Citra a few times there, which is lovely on tap.
Yeah.
Lovely end bottle, but look, even more like that.
I found that the Oakham Citra is different no matter where you go. You get a strong maltiness to it, or you get up forward bitter.
I mean, it's very hop forward all the time. Whenever
depends on where it's near where it's being brewed, because I know because obviously it's like Guinness. It's like over here, it's not particularly very nice, but if you go over to Ireland, the nearer you get, the nicer it gets. So would it be the same for those type of beers?
I mean, you recently went to Amsterdam, didn't you, for New Year's Day?
Yeah. and what I was drinking over there, I was drinking Irish beer there, because it's all like a trust. Yeah.
I mean, what was the beer experience when you went to Amsterdam?
It was all like Heineken. It was very much just Heineken there, and the only other places we went to the Irish bar like, every single night we were there, and so I was having Murphy's Stout and Kilkenny when I was out there. But they did have in one of these Irish bars they had a brown, and then another place we went to they had all these Joppen beers, and Joppen, I think it's Joppen, I don't know how you say it. But I mean, there's Joppen beer which we've got now open, and I really do like their beers, the ones I've had.
Yeah. Have you seen them over here in the UK?
Haven't seen Joppen at all. I mean, they had some Belgian beers over there which I've seen, like Jupiler. That came up quite a lot there, and what's that? One in a white bottle. Something. What's it now? Golden Drac.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, that beer.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you doing on ABV level? I mean, do you like your low ABV beers or do you like high ABV beers?
I mean, I tend to vary. I tend to keep them as low as possible, so I can do. I like them around 4, 5. If it's like a strong ale, dark ale, it's always got to be, around the 7, 8, 9 sort of region.
I mean, a lot of Americans think an IPA should be at least 9%, 8% to start off with. And the fact that it's 5% and we're getting so much flavour, and it's solid from beginning to end of this beer so far. And we've had lower ABV IPAs as well.
Mm. I think we did. Well, the first one I did was it Dogfish Head? Was it? No, it wasn't.
I wish.
Snake Dog IPA, wasn't it? Or not? It was one from that brewery.
Yeah, it is. I'd have to look, but let's have a look. While I'm looking, I'll let you talk. But yeah,
okay.
We've done a few now, and the best bit about these examinations, we can experience the beer from its being chilled state to the last bit, because sometimes you need more than 4 minutes to examine a beer.
Yes.
We've done Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. We did the Meadows Blanche.
Yep. Let's not say anything about that one. He wasn't the best, put it that way. I think it was like the first one we did. Yeah.
Raging Beach.
That's it. Yeah.
From Flying Dog Brewery.
That's something we're dogging it.
Yeah. We've done the Triple Chocoholic from Saltaire Brewery, and we've done Snack Lifter from Jennings. I mean, we had the last beer. We did an old ale, which is the Snack Lifter. I mean, how is that in comparison that with other beers that we've had with Triple Chocoholic and American? Do you think this holds up? American IPA?
I think Snack Lifter wouldn't be. I don't think it's something that Americans would perhaps go for as much, because it's like an older ale of sort. I like it a lot. I do like it, but
it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Because it's a mass brewery, and it's still really tasty, even though it's a mass.
Mm. I mean,
Have you managed to try the Step Lifter yet?
no, you haven't tried Stack Lifter.
No. I'm still in just starting.
Yeah.
Well, you could basically do a duo review for that. Basically, just so you see the first impression of his ever Snake Lifter.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've got plenty of time next week, so plenty of duo reviews coming up next week, possibly.
What you could do is basically a re-review week. You know, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't thinking of doing some
you just basically broaden his horizon on beers that you've had that you can share now with his new experience into beer.
I mean, and even I find it possibly beneficial towards me because then I got to look back at that beer, which I haven't had for such a long time. And I'm looking at some of my earlier videos, some really early videos on them, and thinking, yeah, that beer doesn't have that taste to me anymore. It's got so much more flavour. I can recognise the flavour now. So I want to go back and look at some of those really early videos I did, probably like 0 to 50 sort of range, and do them again, or sometime in the future.
You get share the experience with a friend, and also broaden your friend's palate as you go on.
Mm.
So, if you saw this beer on cask or tap, would you?
I definitely think so. Definitely go and get it. Cause I think the thing about getting it on cask is you get to experience probably an alternate form of it almost, and it's more true to how it's supposed to be.
I do like the labelling on the. We all know hens and roosters are associated with eggs here in the UK, and it just says free range, as in taking that marketing term. And I like that it says Yorkshire on it, basically, as well. That's pretty cool.
I like the side, even though I find it extremely hard to read. There's that side where it says all the different. It's got all the different text down on one side.
That there.
Yeah. And that is essentially just a blurb about the beer, but it's in different texts. I find it impossible.
Yeah. We see that a lot in marketing nowadays. Is basically, do you know, like film reviews and stuff like that? They'll go, this is a grand.
Yeah.
Best film of the year, the best comedy of the year, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's very Americanized. That there. So, any other final thoughts on this beer?
Just that I definitely hope to get it on cask. Have really enjoyed it. It's just a very decent IPA, and I'd look forward to trying the rest of their range.
And new to beer, would you, as it's new to your palate, would you tell other new beer drinkers to try this initially, or would you tell them to wait and try something else more easy on the palate?
Well, no, I think it was quite a nice one to start with. It's not too dark. It's not quite a heavy beer. But yeah, I would definitely buy it myself. I'd probably try it on the cask as well. But I'd probably buy it in a bottle a couple of times just so I can sort of try and catch some of the taste and more of the taste and sort of the beer.
That's pretty cool. I mean, even a new palate enjoys this beer, and an experienced palate like Harry's enjoys this beer. And the fact that a supermarket here in Yorkshire, Booths, actually goes to the extent of shopping out a special, like, old shelf range to showcase a lot of beers from across the UK. I mean, Harry, you visited Booths recently. Would you visit that again, and do you appreciate the work they put in?
Oh, absolutely, mate. When I saw the range they had at Booths, it wasn't like they just had world beers, they had local beers as well, which I don't see down here. And they had a couple of beers which I found a couple of beers which very few people have actually reviewed or consumed before. So very, very new breweries, very small breweries. So I'm always on the lookout for that, and just to try and expand my horizons a little bit. But the whole range of beers they had, I definitely recommend anyone to go to Boost. But it's a shame they're only in Yorkshire.
The prices were good on all the bottles. I mean, we see in some bottle shops they do overcharge on some of the bottles. I mean, it's the fact that they keep the price at optimal level, and as well as broadcast a lot of the breweries from across the UK. Did you manage? I think we were at the one point we was going to share a trolley when we get to Booths.
Yeah.
But you walked up. You went, "Yeah, I'm going to get my own trolley."
Yeah. I mean, I got my own basket and it was like pretty full, and I was going to have to put it into your trolley.
Yeah, because it was like going, "Yeah, we're going to need a bigger car."
Yeah.
Your boot was getting pretty chocolate.
Yeah.
Near the end of the hill trail, the bottle shop.
There were 3 full boxes of beer, and there must have been at least 60, 70 bottles in the back of my car from just one trip. And it wasn't very expensive either, it must be said. I think it came to about £100 in total for very good, all in total for all those beers.
We visited a lot of bottle shops here in Yorkshire. We started off at Beer House up in Ossett, went over to Leeds, Edinley for the Beer Ritz, went over to Otley for Chesvin and Curious Hop, and then travelled over to Ilkley and Otley for Waitrose and Booths. And the fact that you managed to purchase like 70 plus bottles, and you managed to get a lot of UK and American beers without leaving Yorkshire.
Yeah, and
West Yorkshire.
Most of them I'd never tried before.
Yeah. Granted, like your Leeds brewery, you weren't really that keen on their range, but a lot of the Leeds brewery beers are better on cask. A lot of Yorkshire beers are better on cask.
Yeah.
So, also, I don't know if I showed that earlier, the Roosters have a very pretty cap.
Which mine now has a massive dent in it.
But thank you for joining us for this examination of Roosters, Fort Smith. Check out Booths, check out Roosters, check out Harry Meadows. It's linked to his YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. It's all in the description bar. And thank you to the very talented juggler. Any final words?
I don't think so. Just thank you to Stuart once again for broadcasting this. Thank you.
You take care.